God gave the first-century world a sign. The witnesses, men and women who saw Jesus alive after his death. These weren't just followers spreading rumors. They had seen him die, his body taken down, laid in a tomb. They knew he was gone. And yet, days later, they saw him again. Not as a ghost, but flesh and bone. He spoke with them, ate with them, let them touch his wounds. And they didn't keep it secret. They proclaimed it publicly. In the very city where he was executed, before those who had the power to silence them. But God did not leave only their words. To the first century, he gave eyewitnesses. To us, he has given something even greater, a permanent, undeniable sign. A visible mark of the very moment it happened, the burial cloth of Christ, the linen that wrapped his lifeless body. Today, it is known as the Shroud of Turin, not just an ancient relic, but the very evidence of the resurrection itself. God made sure it could not be ignored. In the 20th century, something remarkable was revealed. The shroud's image is a photographic negative, something impossible for any medieval artist to have created. And then, there's the science. Every discipline, chemistry, physics, biology, confirms details impossible to fake. Like a crime scene investigation, the evidence builds. Pulmonary fluid, clear liquid around the bloodstains, visible only under UV light. The weave, the pollen, the dirt, all traced back to first-century Jerusalem. If that wasn't enough, God preserved this sign unlike any artistry before. The crucifixion wounds are through the wrists, not the palms, just as a Roman execution would have been. And the evidence doesn't stop there. The Sudarium of Oviedo, the head cloth, is a forensic match to the shroud, not just by chance, but with more than double the congruence required in a court of law to confirm a match. But despite all of this, most of the church does not believe it. Millions do, but you would expect that something so evident, so irrefutable, would be embraced by all who profess faith. And yet, it is not. To God, this is wondrous in our eyes. Because if the church had the faith to understand this physical manifestation in our reality, this sign to the world would not be overlooked. It would not be dismissed. It would spark revival. The very proof of resurrection power sits before them, but they do not see it. And yet, the sign remains. It cannot be erased. It cannot be ignored forever. So, how was it made? The answer has been there all along. A precise burst of energy, a moment frozen in time, a light so powerful it left an imprint of the impossible.